We'll now finish up on the return of Premier League football. So Arsenal head to Fulham this weekend for a London derby, the dreaded Craven Cottage, where their last two games they failed to win. So a 1-1 draw last season, quite a horrible watch, and then a 2-1 defeat the season before, another horrible watch. The form book and the table would suggest that Arsenal should be winning this game, but the fact that it is at Craven Cottage, does that make you a little bit more concerned about this one?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't enjoyed my last two visits to Craven Cottage. It's not been much fun. Obviously, last year was very, very close to being a win in the end, but that goal was ruled out right at the end. So Arsenal had to settle for a draw. The year before that was one of the worst performances, if not the worst performance of the season for Arsenal. So it's not been a happy hunting ground. So they need to go there and put that right this weekend. We've seen what they did at St James's Park earlier in the season. They went to a ground where they've had some really bad past history, recent history, and they put things right in fantastic fashion. And they'll want to do that again at Craven Cottage. You know, they've gone into this international break. They've got themselves top of the table, which is fantastic. You want to sort of really kick on now, don't you? And sort of cement your position at the top. When you look at the fixtures they've got, Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, you know, not easy. Of course, they're not easy, the Premier League games, but they're still fixtures you look at and think, oh, we can get some points here on the board and really get into the season. So I think Saturday's hugely important for Arsenal. Going into it, having just overtaken Liverpool, they need to stamp their authority on the season now that they are in top spot, and they need to go to a ground where they've struggled at in recent years. So I think it's a really, really important game this for Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll be reuniting with a few old faces, of course. So Bernd Leno, Alex Iwobi, Emil Smith Rowe, although it looks like Josh King has usurped him in the pecking order. But Iwobi, arguably one of Fulham's most dangerous players, at least this season and the past season, maybe. Is he the one you look at and think, okay, he could really haunt Arsenal here?
Who, Emil?
Alex Iwobi.
Oh, Alex Iwobi, sorry. Well, yeah, I mean, I think Iwobi's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I really, really do. I think he's a fantastic player, Alex, and he's done so well since he's been at well, he did well at Everton, but he's done so well since he's been at Fulham as well. And I think people are finally starting to appreciate just how good a footballer he is, because I think he went under the radar of a lot of people. And he really has turned himself into such an influential player at Fulham, one of their most important players. So, Arsenal have to keep him quiet. But I don't want Arsenal going into this game thinking they need to really focus on Fulham players. They shouldn't need to be doing that. Fulham need to be focusing on Arsenal. I think that's the mindset Arsenal need to take in every single game they go to now. They're good enough to go in and dominate these games, really, really put teams to the sword. And I want to see them do that starting this weekend now. It's like I said, I just feel this period of games is so important for Arsenal really to stamp their authority on this league. They've chased Liverpool down. Liverpool had a little bit of an early lead. They've chased them down. They've got in front. Now they need to show everyone, we're here. We mean real business this season. So I think, rather than sort of worrying and focusing on Iwobi or, Emil if he plays, or how they stop Raul Jimenez, who's caused Arsenal problems in the past, just need to go and worry about themselves and make Fulham more concerned about dealing with Arsenal than Arsenal having to deal with Fulham.
Yeah, let's hope they can do that. And looking at the team news, so obviously we know that Arsenal will be without the likes of Madueke, Martin Odegaard, who's spoken about. This game does come 3 days before Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Are you still expecting Mikel Arteta to go as full strength as he can, or do you think there might be a couple of surprises here and there? I mean, I look at maybe Declan Rice has had these couple of back issues. We've still got to get through. So this is Tuesday. We've still got to get through the England game tonight and a few more internationals. But touch wood, Arsenal get through those with no fresh injuries. But yeah, do you think there might be a couple of unexpected calls in this lineup, given the internationals and also Atletico coming up?
There might be, yeah. I mean, I look at the Brazilian boys. They've had real sort of travel issues this international break. They've gone to South Korea. They're in Japan playing tonight. Of course, we're recording it before the game. So they've clocked up an awful lot of air miles. Those boys, and remember, it was against Fulham as well last season, wasn't it? Gabriel came back from international duty, played Fulham, and did his hamstring, and there was a lot of talk about was that due to the flight, and Mikel said it wasn't, but is that going to sort of play into his thinking a little bit? So I think Arsenal are just in that position now, and Arteta's in that position. We rock up each week, and there seems to be maybe like one surprise in the team each week now. He's giving someone a rest. Like last time, it was Zubimendi was on the bench, wasn't it, against West Ham? Obviously, came on pretty early in that game, but no one was really expecting Zubimendi to be on the bench that game. We've seen him do it with William Saliba. We've seen him do it with Declan Rice. So it's hard to call now exactly what Mikel's going to do. But I think if he's confident in everyone's fitness, I think he'll go all in on the Fulham game. I think if he's going to make any changes, it will probably be the game against Athletic Madrid in midweek that he might make one or two. But I think he'll go as strong as he possibly can for this first game back in the Premier League.